we're going to be talking about and that you're going to see today that's been in process. And this past year, under this new administration, we actually made it happen. And again, you're going to hear a little bit more about it, but right now my job is just to do the introductions. So I would like to first call up our DCAO, Kevin Stephen, of Government Infrastructure, Technology, and Environment for Prince George's County.
Thank you, Marilyn. I just first of all wanted to bring greetings from County Executive Aisha Braveboy, and I wanted to say thank you very much to our wonderful team at the Department of Environment, led by Dr. Sam Moki, for his excellent work. So the MRF, is it the Materials Recycling Facility? First, when I heard that, I first thought of Interstellar. I don't know how many of y'all ever seen the movie Interstellar, and MRF is the daughter of the main character, so she plays one of the main characters. And it just made me think about, as I'm seeing space on the screen here, just about how our group, the Government Infrastructure Technology Environment Group, as I would call infrastructure at your service. We laid the foundation for the county in being able to rise higher and higher and higher. So not only is it about the foundation, but it's almost like we're giving the opportunity for the rest of the county in all forms and fashions to go to the next level, and that's what the county executive is really focused on. She believes so much, as well as I do, as someone who's grown up here, went to elementary school, high school, college within Prince George's County, the county that we love, that there's so much to offer. And we love the ideas of innovation. We love the ideas of making sure that our environment is well taken care of. We just love the ideas of the brightest people within our county coming together to think through and address problems. So I just wanted to say congratulations today on this next step. And I would also lastly like to say my understanding is that with this brand new technology, it's going to make things a lot more efficient, and it's going to help generate potentially revenue. So that'll be music to the county executives' ears as well. So again, congratulations to the team. Thank you very much. And I'm going to bring up Dr. Moki.
Thank you, Mr. DCO, and for those who don't know, that's my boss. I always make sure that I put that out there. But what a day. I mean, this day says a lot about Prince George's County. And not only about Prince George's County, because we can't do it alone. It says a lot about the partnership that we have with NES. So I want us to give a hand of applause for that partnership with NES. We thank you for all that you do to help us. We thank you for your collaboration. We thank you for your steadfastness. This day shows that we as a county, we don't just settle for the status quo. And that environmental innovation is not just an asterisk to what we do. It is what we do. It is part of what we do. And so I am excited because now we have the fiber sorters that are going to make our operations more effective and more efficient. This is the story of this county. We are on the move, and we need to tell our story. For the things that we do here environmentally, a lot of other things are coming down the pipeline. In a few months, we're going to award a contract for the methanization of the landfill. We're going to build a methane capture project, innovative, modern, to reduce greenhouse gas emissions. That's the story of Prince George's County. This recycling program, as you all know, services over, I think, about 180,000 households. This facility processes over 650,000 tons of recycling. I want to thank Marilyn. I want to thank all my staff that are here. I want to thank Eric, Bruce, the godfather of the landfill. But I just want to thank you, Marilyn, for your leadership and for where we are. We feel excited. I will be remiss if I do not thank the county executive. I know my boss has done that, but we can't thank her enough for the kind of support that she gives the Department of Environment, for the encouragement that she offers us, the level of empowerment that she has given us, challenging us to use technology in what we do. This is the result today. And so, Madam County Exec, on behalf of the entire Department of Environment, I want to thank you for your support. I want to thank you for your encouragement, and I just want to thank you for your leadership. Thank you.
And Mr. Anthony Bennett, if you would like to give a few words. And Anthony is our Deputy Director of the Department of the Environment.
Thank you, Marilyn. So 2 things. To echo Sam, that's my boss, who's, and I'm one of 2 deputy directors here in the Department of the Environment. I would like to acknowledge my counterpart, Deputy Director Derek Cole, if you would stand, please. So 2 things, well, 1 thing really. First and foremost, I hate following Dr. Sam Moki because he really revs up the crowd. I'm like the boring, gives the facts guy, that kind of thing. So I just wanted to give a little bit of history on this particular facility. So this facility opened in 1983. It was basically a government and intergovernment agreement with Prince George's County and Maryland Environmental Services, who was acknowledged previously. So again, we thank you for your assistance, your leadership, and your guidance in getting us to this point. I know a lot of this could not have been done without your help. So again, we appreciate you. This, as was stated by Dr. Moki, this facility produces over 65 tons of materials annually. And our mission of this recycling program is to recycle as many components from waste, from the waste stream as feasible, to minimize our dependency on landfill as the county's primary source of solid waste management system, and to conserve landfill space. Because we all know we're not building any more land, right? So we have to be able to deal with our waste as economical, as efficient, and as acceptable as possible. So facilities like this one, and we are one of the leaders in this state in terms of recyclable materials, facilities like this one really leads the way. And again, hats off to all of the staff that contribute to this daily. So again, I really thank you from the bottom of our heart. I do want to put in a plug for this facility as well. I know some of this stuff will be streaming out live, so they'll get sound bites here and there. This facility is really open for tours to include schools, colleges, universities, civic and church groups, foreign dignitaries as well, other government agencies, scouts, nonprofit organizations, and individual families. So why am I highlighting that? Right? So if people don't know, they don't do, right? Mm-hmm. So the more they know about this facility and what happens here and what you guys do, the more they'll get involved. And truth be told, when I came here to Maryland, I've only been here for 3 years, but when I came here to Maryland, I was not a composter. Mm-hmm. You know when I became a composter, and I'm looking right at her because she's over there smiling, Jessica, we were touring our compost facility. And she says, "Sir, you're not a composter?" And I said, "Not really. I'm not going to do anything. I got to separate the food. I got to do this. I got to do that." She says, "You know what? By the time I got home, I had bins at my house." She was not playing, and to the point where now my entire family is composting. Again, it's yes, it's about knowledge. It's about understanding. Knowledge is power. So, as everybody in this room, I encourage all of you to reach out to your friends, your families, your neighbors. Not only recycle, but I'm asking you to also compost. So that's part of my stump speech, Jessica, just so you know. Because we need to make this county as zero waste as possible. And through these efforts, through the efforts of the upgrades in this facility, we can do that. So with that, I say thank you all. Again, I appreciate your effort in getting us to this point, and I'm so excited for the future of not only this facility, this department, but this county and all of the residents within. So with that, I say thank you.
And lastly, I would like to invite Tim Ford, the Managing Director of the Environment for the Maryland Environmental Service. And what Tim will do is he's going to get a little bit technical with us to explain the new fiber line and perhaps talk just a little bit about the tip floor. And I especially invited Tim because Tim works with counties throughout the state of Maryland. He's extremely knowledgeable of what others are doing within our industry. And I've heard him speak many times before, and I really, yes, you have a perspective that we can all hear about really how great Prince George's County is doing without us tooting our own horn, because this, he actually knows. And so I invited him because I wanted you to hear from someone other than just, you know, a county representative, because again, he knows what's going on in the state of Maryland. And so Tim, please come up and share your knowledge with us and explain a little bit about the technology behind the upgrades.
Thank you, Marilyn. Before I start, thank you, Dr. Moki, Deputy, for inviting us, Marilyn, as well for inviting Maryland Environmental Service to talk today. It has been a huge privilege to be your partner, in not just this site, but in other locations within the county. And on behalf of Dr. Glass, excuse me, on behalf of Dr. Glass, I've sent his welcome and his congratulations as well. Unfortunately, couldn't be here, but we've got Deputy Hertz here as well, number 2 in the agency. To support So, yeah, I have a gray beard, so I'm not quite the godfather, but I have some experience. I've got a 40-year career in environmental services in both the private sector and public. And in my role with the Maryland Environmental Services, I work with a lot of counties across the state. And I'll have to put my glasses on to look at my cheat sheet here, because I wanted to brag a little bit about the partnership here and what Prince George's County has been able to do. First off, with this MRF, about 11 years ago, we got a phone call from the county, and the county said, we want to take this facility back over. The county had outsourced the operations of the site for a while to the private sector, and the county decided to take its own destiny in its own hands and took back the operations of the site. And to be frank, the site was a mess. And the progress that the county has made in the 11 years is phenomenal. And it has been the county operation. We appreciate the opportunity to serve and to help you with this journey, but it's the county's money, the county's personnel, the county's decisions that have put us where we are today. And for that, I thank you. And we'll talk a little bit about the improvements that have been made. This site, when we took it over, again, it had been run down. There were conveyors out there that were working just on a spindle. They didn't have, the bearings were wore out. There was material underneath the facility that was feet tall. I mean, it was a mess. So the county immediately took action, spent a lot of money to get it back up and running. Within 30 days, the county had committed over $1 million to get this site back up and running again to where it should be. They made immediate investments in some of the equipment that had been that was wore out, and then we started talking about what can we do differently that sets this facility apart. And one of the first things that the county invested in was to change the technology that we use to sort plastics, because up to that point, the county just generated mixed plastic, which had a very low value. So by investing in that equipment, the county was able to separate out those plastics and generate revenue. In fact, that investment paid off within 5 years. And now it's making the county money. We made significant improvements in the other infrastructure, the route in and out of here. The tipping floor, we made significant investments in the tipping floor to make improvements there. And then this latest investment doesn't sound like much, right? So we changed the screens here. But before, the screens tended to bind up with all of the hangers that came along, the plastic bags or the wire and whatever. People have aspirational recycling in mind, and so people throw a lot of stuff in the bins that probably shouldn't be there. And that all gets jammed up. And so we were spending a considerable amount of time with maintenance. It was affecting the quality of the outbound material, which I'll talk about in a minute. And so the county invested in this new technology that allows us to have less frequent maintenance. They don't bind up. It's a bind-free. What's the term, Michael?
No wrap.
No wrap spindles, right? That allows us to operate, reduce contamination, and operate more efficiently with less downtime. And so it's already starting to pay off in terms of the contamination rates I'm seeing in the material that we sell. And why is that important? The materials that you generate are a commodity that are sold on the open market. And Prince George's County gets some of the highest revenue per ton for your recyclables of anybody else across the state, which is incredible. And why does that matter? That pays for this site. You have a lower operating cost for this site than many of your contemporaries across the region. When we looked at having to bypass, when we made some of these improvements, we needed to bypass material. You're looking at $100 plus rates per ton to be able to take material off-site, right? So that's what's costing them. I mean, there's some profit involved in that, but that's costing them. What's the latest number here for per ton rate here? $14, $15 a ton, which is incredible. So again, congratulate yourself for that. That's the payoff for the investment you made. So as I said, I've been around a while. I work with a lot of other municipalities in the state. I'm also a commission member for the Baltimore City Office of Sustainability, their Sustainability Commission. I work with Baltimore County as well on a similar commission where we're going to be working with them as well. I know what's going on in the state, and Prince George's County is the leader in the state in sustainable waste management. The diversion rates are around 65%, right? The average in the state's 20 to 40%, right? Somewhere depending on where you are. 40%, some of the larger counties get 40, 50%. You're at 65% diversion rate. And you do it because you planned for it. It wasn't accidental, right? The county has a zero waste plan. The county has a sustainable materials management plan. These are not bookends. You are following that plan. When I think about what you do in addition to this site, you have a composting operation that has features food scrap composting that is the leader in the country when it comes to that type of facility. When EPA wants to do a tour, they do it here. They don't do it in New York. They're not doing it in New Jersey. They're not doing it elsewhere. They're doing it right here. Because this site is a leader in it. 180,000 households have the ability to compost. And so when I say your diversion rate is 65% now, that hasn't caught up yet with what you're doing on things like food scrap, which is about 30% of your volume that goes into your landfill. As you get more advanced and as you get more participation in that program, those numbers are going to climb. And then when you're doing things at your landfills that further divert material from your landfill, your diversion rates are going to go sky high. So you're following your plans, and for that I commend you. So I don't want to get too long-winded. I think I've covered pretty much what I got. Let me see what my cheat sheet says about where else you're doing well here. Let's see here. Policy direction. Zero waste resource recovery master plans. Other facilities are compliance-driven. You're principle-driven, right? Infrastructure. You have a fully integrated waste management system here between your MRF, your composting site, and the other activities that you take on. Most of the other facilities in the state are more relying on external processes. You have it all inside, internally, which is commendable, is right. And of course, your organics program is second to nobody in the state. So with that, I congratulate you. Thank you for having me here. Oh, I'm sorry, CMT. I should have thanked them. Because we can't do it without CMT. It's an in-county MBE firm that provides all the labor here, most of the labor here. And they've been a wonderful partner. When I talked about the contamination rate coming down, it's because some of the moves that CMP have made in terms of recruiting local people live in the county that otherwise would not have a job. They've made opportunities available here, and it becomes a lasting employment. We see a lot of people here that are here for a year or two now. Temporary labor, not so much here. And I would be remiss. I'm sorry. Thank you
Would
for
you like to stand
reminding
up
me.
so we can
I don't know if you all met Annette Johnson. She runs CMT. She's a force. So, that's all I can say. She is a force. And a pleasure to work with. So anyway, thank you all.
Thank you.
And so I think you would agree why I wanted Tim to say a few words specifically about Prince George's County and our facility here. And unfortunately, Desmond Gladden was unable to make today, but I really want to give a shout out to Desmond. He's been overseeing. Desmond's been involved with our MRF here for many, many years. And he's a fixture here. And I also really want to thank Michael Bell. If you'll stand up just for a minute, Michael. Michael works for the Mountain Environmental Service, and he takes care of all of our daily operations, and he just keeps the entire facility running very smoothly. If something's not smooth, he ensures that it gets repaired immediately. And so, Michael, I really appreciate everything that you do here. Thank you, sir. And with that, I think, Rebecca, we're going to be showing I believe it's a live webcam of the fiber line. So you'll actually see the upgrades that we're talking about here, because we're not going to go down on the floor because you wouldn't be able to see it from down there because of the equipment, the way it's situated. So we'll see it live here. And then after this, we'll go out on the catwalk, where you'll get to see the actual facility from above, and then we'll do a ribbon cutting and take some pictures, and then that will basically conclude our event this afternoon. Thank you.
Michael is actually pulling up on his computer, so we just did an upgrade on our cameras as well. It's a significantly smaller purchase than the screens, but we did do an upgrade to our cameras, and specifically the county had the foresight to request that we be able to look into the machines. So these are machines that are both incredibly dangerous to be up against, but then also you kind of really can't see into them very well. So we've got a few cameras set up so that you can actively see into the screens. The fiber screens that we specifically are celebrating today are what we call star screens. They are a long spindle with many, many stars. They look almost like ninja stars is how I describe it to school kids. And they're lined up. And the idea with a fiber screen is that all of the fiber, that would be anything that is not a container. So we're talking cardboard, we're talking paper, mixed paper, mixed cardboards, mixed paper boards. All of that fiber, in an ideal world, floats across the top of those stars, and then everything else falls through. So the first half, what we call the front half of the facility, is our fiber side, and that's where we screen all of the fiber off and then separate mixed paper from cardboard, and that's what we're going to show you today. I believe he's pulling it up, so I want him to give you a good view of that. But this is the important part, because with the anti-wrap technology, that screen actually can work the way it's designed to work. The containers fall through, the contamination falls through, and the fiber floats nicely across the top and into where it's supposed to go.
So I think right now we're probably experiencing maybe a jam in the system. But what I can do is,
There you go.
I can, so this is, right here, this is screen 3. So this is one of the no-wrap screens that we recently got in doing the most recent upgrade in October. And what I mean by no wrap, if you see this shaft right here, The prior screens, the shaft was maybe this big around. So what it did was it allowed the material the opportunity to grab itself. That way it would wrap around the shaft, and by 11 o'clock, let me back up. So it spaces between all these screens for the metal, plastic, and aluminum to fall through to reach the back side of the plant. You'll see that when you go out there. The prior screens, by 11 o'clock, those spaces that were like this at 8 in the morning, by 11 o'clock were like this. So that means much more contamination was going across the top, coming down our fiber lines, making it a lot more difficult for the sorters to get the material off the line. By the county making this upgrade, we've already seen a considerable increase in aluminum bales, our fiber bales, the quality of the material, as well as how much we're processing per ton, per hour, per day. So we are seeing immediate numbers now. We also, we just crunched some numbers. With these screens, we don't have as much downtime. We see an 8% drop in our downtime, which means more processing time. So as we continue to fine tune all this, I do believe, and I know we'll continue to get better. But let me jump to another screen. Hopefully we'll be back up, but if not, when we go out, you can see the full process. But this one, right? So this right here is where the magnet belt is at, and right behind this is one of the optical sorters that we got put in 2021. That's the PET optical sorter, and that's programmed to specifically bring to us nothing but PET bottles, which are Deer Park bottles and things of that nature. And on a daily basis, this time of year, we make around about 15 to 20 PET bales per day. And once this is running, you kind of can see how fast the material is moving. But how this optical sorter works, it works by laser and air. The laser recognizes the material by resin code, the air, the jets, the air that blows through the jets pushes the material on the belt and bring it to us. Hopefully, I would like to see the plant get back up, because I can also show you the belt in which the material comes down, and I can pan in and you can see the accuracy of these optical sorters. They're very accurate. The plant does 95% of the work, we do the other 5%. We also seen a decrease in our bale breaks. I like to toot my horn with this one because we've gone from 8%, we're seeing across the board like 3% contamination in our paper bales, which allows us to be able to sell our material just about anywhere now, which I think is, and you know, I would like to take credit for all this, but I'm gonna just sum of the parts. I think we got with CMT over the years, we've all put our heads together. We got a good group of people that work here. We don't have a lot of turnover, which allows the sorters that if they stay here longer, I like to call it critical sorting, because there is such a thing. And what I like to use as my analogy, and I'm not gonna hold you too long, but we had a whole chicken come down the line one time. Like a, you know, Thanksgiving chicken. So, yeah, I was gonna say. The young lady that runs the plant called me. She said, "Hey, Mike, a chicken just went down the line in the bunker." I said, "Okay." I said, "So we got to open up the paper bunker and bale all these bales." So I go back and look on the camera, and literally the chicken just like, and everybody just sorted. And I'm like, who gonna grab the chicken? Nobody grabbed the chicken. So I went straight out there to the line, and I was like, hey, okay, we got a problem here. Why didn't nobody get this chicken off the line? In which they didn't have a good answer, but I see all that.
They're all in shock.
Yeah, but I explained to them that now we got to take all these bales back to the tipping floor. The time, the money, everything it's going to take to open all these bales up, because we got to find this chicken. You can't leave the chicken in the bale and ship it, send it on a container, and go down the road for 2 or 3 months. By the time you receive that and open it up, that's not going to be a good smell, as well as we don't like to get downgrades, or we don't like emails saying that we don't outside of our contamination level, things like that. So in doing that, we had to take, I want to say maybe like 6 or 7 bales back to the tipping floor, because we don't know which bale is in. So now I got to pull staff off the line, do bale breaks on all these bales till we find the chicken, then run the material again. So
Yeah, you find the chicken.
We found the chicken.
And from there on out, everybody worked together. The moral of the
And that's
story.
my analogy when I say there is such a thing as critical sorting. Because grab the chicken. All else fails, get the food off the line. But other than that, that's my little spill.
It's not yet, so they're working on one bypass.
But
But come back in
we
it.
can go out and tour the plant, but when we come back in, hopefully it'll be back up.
Yeah, so the camera, we're having a technical difficulty,
Which like,
which, you know, this is a operational plant, so that does happen. So, Sam, would you like for us to go maybe out on the catwalk, do the ribbon cutting,
Yes.
take some pictures, and then if
Yes.
it's back up,
Yes.
you're welcome, and we really encourage you to stay to see the sorter, if you can stay. We'll go out on the catwalk. Thank you. And Jessica, you'll lead the way.
Yeah, I'll be around. Yeah.